The sound of their laughter still lingers. It was sharp, metallic, echoing against crystal glasses and polished marble floors. My humiliation hung in the air like cigarette smoke, thick and poisonous. I didn't flinch. I lowered my gaze, as if obedient, as if broken. Inside, though, something shifted. The kind of shift you don't undo. I met Daniel 12 years ago. He was ambitious, charming in that rehearsed way men like him learn young. He smelled of leather seats and new money. Back then, I thought his hunger meant safety, a future. He told me I made him better, and I believed him. He used to whisper at night how he couldn't breathe without me, how I was his compass. I didn't realize he meant until he arrived where he wanted to be. The first sign came small. He started locking his phone, calls after midnight, whispered explanations. Just work, love. Go back to sleep. But the perfume wasn't mine. The emails I found weren't professional. They read like rehearsed passion. And then the photo. Her in a hotel robe, wearing his tie. My heart didn't shatter, no, it hardened, like steel cooled in water. I didn't scream, didn't confront him. I learned. I shadowed his routines, watched where he slipped, where his pride blinded him. Men like Daniel don't notice details. They assume no one's looking. But I was, always. I discovered his offshore account. Hidden shares funneled through shell companies. The mistress? An ambitious associate at his firm, desperate for leverage. She thought she'd ride him up the ladder. She didn't realize I'd already mapped every rung. The shift wasn't emotional. It was strategic. I went back to school, quietly. Nights, weekends, hours he thought I spent keeping the house warm. I earned degrees, certifications, built contacts. The CEO admired my insight during a charity auction, though Daniel dismissed it as luck. I wasn't lucky. I was deliberate. I played my role, the smiling, supportive wife, nodding when spoken over, invisible when convenient. While in the shadows, I aligned myself with people who mattered more than Daniel ever would. The plan took years. Revenge requires patience, like marinating a cut of meat until it soaks up everything you need it to taste like. I slipped information to the board, subtle, enough to erode trust in Daniel without ever revealing the source. I knew his patterns, his arrogance. I knew exactly when he'd push too far, assume too much. And tonight, at the gala, everything converged. His joke, the one that reduced me to a bed warmer, a cook, was the final stitch in the tapestry. The crowd laughed, their loyalty bending toward the louder voice. He thought he won. Then the CEO approached, hand heavy on my back, voice amplified by the mic. "We're thrilled to welcome our new head of global operations." The room stilled. Every eye shifted. Toward me. Daniel's smirk collapsed into silence. His wineglass trembled, just slightly. The beauty of that moment wasn't in the applause or the flashing cameras. It was in his face, realizing too late that the woman he dismissed had outplayed him on every board he thought he controlled. I didn't look at him directly, not yet. I shook hands, exchanged smiles, posed for photos. My silence was heavier than any speech. But later, when the crowd thinned and he cornered me, whispering venom into my ear, I finally met his gaze. "How?" he hissed. I smiled, small, precise. "You were too busy underestimating me." The mistress left him first. No reason to cling to a sinking ship. The board ousted him within weeks. Those offshore accounts, suddenly not so invisible. I didn't expose him directly. I didn't need to. I only nudged the right dominoes, and gravity did the rest. He tried to fight, threatened divorce, thinking it would ruin me. But the prenup, his prideful insistence I'd never touch his empire, was voided by infidelity. My lawyers insured it. He lost the house, the cars, the respect. I didn't scream, didn't gloat. I watched, and that was enough. Now, as I sit at the head of a boardroom table he once dreamed of, I think back to that night, the gala, His smirk, the laughter, that stung like acid. Revenge isn't loud, it's quiet, precise. It's watching the man who made you small shrink in front of the world, powerless to stop it. I sip my coffee, sign papers with my name alone. And sometimes, when the memory of his chuckle surfaces, I let myself smile. Not because I loved him once, not because he broke me, but because he never saw it coming, and I always did.